Here is my 2026 Senate predictions. So this is my own opinion. No one else is influencing it at all. This is how my personal opinion the elections are going to go. So Oregon, safe Democrat. Let's go with the safe states first. So Colorado, safe Democrat. New Mexico would have been likely if they actually ran a good candidate. They just ran a write-in candidate. So Illinois is safe. Delaware, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Virginia are all safe. So that starts with 43 for the Democrats. For Republicans, you got Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Montana, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Florida. Wait, no, not Florida. South Carolina, and that's it. So 44 to 43 44 Republican advantage to 43 Democrats. Republican advantage after 44 and 43. So, so we're gonna go from Alaska to Maine. First we're gonna start with. Well, I just said it, Alaska. Um, Alaska is probably gonna be lean for Republicans. They are running Mary Peltola, but I don't think one-time losers the next time they run, I don't think they win that often. So, especially in Senate elections, um, maybe not president, but Nebraska, lean, um, pretty self-explanatory. Dan Osborne is going to be a stronger candidate than a normal Democrat would, but they still don't have that enough juice to win because Deb Fischer is way more unpopular than Pete Ricketts, so I'm pretty sure Pete Ricketts wins by 4 to 5 points. 4 to 4.9 points, I should say, because 5 points is likely. And I forgot to say Alaska's margin, which is, I'd say, around 2.2%. Texas, tilt Republican. Ken Paxton, I think, has a high ceiling, but low ceiling, high ceiling, high floor, low ceiling. So basically, that means he will get at least 48% of the vote. I don't see him getting more than, I'd say, 54% of the vote. Um, and I think it would probably be a 0.7% margin. So yeah. Minnesota, likely Democrat. Petty Flanagan is running, and I don't think she's a strong candidate, but I don't think she's going to actually win. I think I would give her a 70% chance of winning, or 80, I should say, and she probably wins by 5.4%, around there. Iowa likely. Um, I just don't see Turek getting that much of the vote, even if Rod Rob Sand wins in the um, governorship. I don't see them Iowa electing a federal in a federal election electing a senator that is blue, a Democrat, I should say. Um, Michigan, I think tilt Republican like around. Well, I forgot to say Iowa's like 6 points. Michigan 0.5%. I think Mike Rogers is going to go up against Abdul Isayed. and I don't think he's that popular. I don't think most people even know him, but he will probably get around, I'd say 49% of the vote just because it's a blue year. Um, if it was a red wave year where it wasn't a Republican president, I could see Michigan being likely, but again, with those two candidates, but I don't see it happening this election. Mississippi, likely, um, I'd say around 9 points. Cindy Hyde Smith is just not that popular. I still think she wins by a big margin, but not big enough to make it safe. Um, she really shouldn't even be on the non-competitive list, the competitive list, I should say. She should not. She should be on the non-competitive list, but she's on the competitive list. So yeah, Florida, I'd say lean. I know I think it could get to safe, but Ashley Moody just hasn't gotten that name recognition yet, so she's probably not gonna win that bigly. But she did win pretty big for in the Attorney General's race, so I don't see her losing. But she still will get a lesser margin than Marco Rubio. Um, I'd say her the person who owned the seat in the past, predecessor, I should say. She probably gets like 4.5%. Um, and then you have Georgia. I'd say tilt Democrat, and I know this might be crazy to say, but because most people think it's going to be lean Democrat or likely Democrat, but I think it's going to be tilt. It's going to be like a 0.5% margin, or zero point 0.3, I should say, because John Ossoff doesn't have that turnout uh, with him, because black turnout is what wins you Georgia as a Democrat, and I don't see him energizing that African American vote to the point where he wins overwhelmingly. He might get around like 50% of the vote. He will win, but he's not going to win by this humongous margin that people are making it out to be. And for North Carolina, it's lost cause. Republicans shouldn't even try to compete in that state anymore. It's likely Democrat. I'd say around 5 to 8 points. I don't really know with North Carolina, but Michael Watley is just not running a campaign at all. Um, while Roy Cooper is just so has such name recognition in the state, um, he's gonna win. By how much is the question. So yeah, Ohio lean Republican. Um, I'd say around 3 points. I'd say uh, John Husted is way more electable than Bernie Moreno, and Bernie Moreno beat um, Sherrod Brown, so I think Sherrod Brown is going to lose this seat. Well, not lose the seat. He's already kicked out of the Senate. He's trying to gain the seat back, and I don't think he's going to gain it back, take it back. So in Maine, I think tilt Republican for now. I know it sounds crazy, but um, Graham Plattner is running such a bad has such scandals that I don't see a lot of moderate independents and Democrats voting for him. He only got 70% of the primary vote when both candidates, Janet Mills and I don't even know the other guy's name, but he got like 10% of the primary vote. Janet Mills got 20% and she dropped out. So I just don't think he's got the base behind him fully, which will hurt him in the end. Um, New Hampshire likely Democrat, 7 points, I'd say. Chris Pappas was a congressman in this area of the state, I'm pretty sure, and he is an overperformer. But John Sununu is is actually a pretty good candidate. I think he could win if he starts campaigning really vigorously. But right now, Chris Pappas has the favorite, is the favorite, and so yeah, this is the map. I know there's a lot of tilt states for the Republicans, not so much for the Democrats, but there's like one Democrat tilt state. But the Democrats have a lot more likely seats than the Republicans, and that makes the Republicans weaker because the seats that are lean and tilt are more likely to flip. So I hope you have a good day. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded a long video in a while, but see you later.